What's up, weirdos? What's going on, guys? All right, so market's still kind of down. Still kind of down. I did some heavy DCAing this morning. I'm going to be doing some more heavy DCAing this afternoon, guys. So keep an eye out for my second buy alerts over on the Patreon buy and sell page today, this afternoon, shortly after this stream, okay? And by the way, guys, if you are one of the members over on the Patreon who has you're part of the coaching call book this afternoon, that coaching call is going to be happening as soon as this live stream is over. So be ready to go. All right. That's your heads up, baby. That's your heads up. Obviously, there is tonight, Thursday, is the live stream over on the Patreon as well with Maximus Crypto and Rule Black. So make sure you guys are there for that. So we got quite a day and quite an evening lined up for you tonight. I got to squeeze in a workout in between all this craziness. Let's get into it, guys. Let's see what we got in the super chats. Hook'em, what's up, buddy? The only time red days bother me is when I have no dry powder. DCA DCA away, all you degens. Here's the thing. Nobody catches all the dips. Nobody. Not me, not anybody, right? Nobody can buy every dip. So it's okay once in a while if you don't buy a dip, you don't DCA, you just sit on your hands, right? Nothing wrong with that. Nobody can catch them all. They're not Pokemon, right? Isaac, speaking of Pokemon, my dude, Lickitung, what's happening, brother? Hello again. This one's because I trust your guidance, my guy. I love having you around, Isaac. You've been with me a long time, brother, and we are leading you to the promised land, brother. Absolutely. Hook'em, dropping that cheddar. A wise man once said that if you don't sacrifice for your goals today, then your goals will become the sacrifice in the future. That man was Crypto Future. Stop jacking around and join the Patreon. Absolutely. You remember that quote, did you? Yes. If you do not sacrifice now for what you want will become the sacrifice. Remember that, my friends. Absolutely, Hook'em. Thank you so much, brother. All right, let's see what's going on in the chat. Bitcoin wicked all the way down to the 30-day, just a hair below it, actually. We wicked all the way down to 117.2 and then back up. We're back up to 118,192. Like I said, I'm going to be very aggressive again this afternoon with my DCAing strategy, guys. I'm taking full advantage. Can we close above this blue line, this bottom blue line, 118,000 goal? That's what I want to see. WF Capital in the house. What's going on, brother? You know me. Every time I see your name, I want to, and my brain goes unknown for some reason. Time to DCA. Yes, Beebs. My dude, what's happening, buddy? Good to see you, man. Rob, can we ape in yet? I'm aping in this afternoon, my friend, after this live stream is over. Beeb, support me over on Crypto Blueprint as well. Thank you so much, brother. H. Barbarina, it's all good in the hood. Zach, bought more turbo. There you go. There you go. Love to hear it, man. Jake the Snake, Miso Hotto. Drop those fries, Roberto. Yes, the fries that'll cross your eyes, my friends. Jared, so happy to get more Nadix at these prices. It's always nice to get amazing prices. Have an awesome day, everyone. Absolutely. Joy is in the house. How you doing? Joy says hit the like. You better listen to Joy, guys. We got 224 people watching. We have 60 likes. Guys, let's get that up to 100. Let's get it going. Mario, let's go fast. What's up, y'all? Jesse and James, XDB, getting put in the poll, I see. Very nice. Yes, you like it. Thanks for your Patreon. I was able to pick it up. There you go. Nice. Jared, I can't wait for well to melt our faces. Yes, Kizza, I feel you, buddy. Listen, that's perfectly normal, man. People get frustrated, right? Because we're so close, too. That's another reason why it's frustrating, because we are, in fact, so close to things going parabolic. You know, you don't have to feel bad about it, man. A lot of people are feeling shit. Some days I wake up in the morning, I feel the same way when it's like this, right? But I'm excited to just DCA, right? I'm excited to fill my bag some more. I try to find the silver lining, the positive, right? God's presenting me with an opportunity to fill my bags, and I'll tell you right now, I am going to scoop up every opportunity that he provides to me. So listen, I get it, man. I get it. Your feelings are perfectly justified, brother. Jack Sparrow, I sold my PlayStation to DCA today. I hope this is the last DCA. I got nothing to sell. There you go. You could sell blood, spit, and semen, I suppose. Guys, make sure you hit the like and subscribe to the channel. It does help the channel grow. It costs you absolutely nothing. We have, let's have a look at our ratio again here. What do we have? We have 246 people watching, 69 likes. Let's keep it going, guys. Let's get up to that 100 like level. John says, what's up, Rob and family? Anyone that isn't on the Patreon is missing out big time. The profit from the swings alone pay for it, and not to mention the fantastic mentorship from Rob. God bless. Thank you so much, John. I appreciate you, my brother. What else do we have? Twitch. Jack Sparrow, you're playing a risky game. Soon you'll be under a bridge with your iPhone and half-broken charger. Look me up. Thank you. Told my coins to get to the moon, but they said they needed more space. Nice. I see what you did there. Another local DCA Central. Milk Money in the house. Double the likes for double the gains. Paul, good to see you, man. Johnny, the #1, guys, the OG Crypto Future member himself, gracing us with his presence. The very first member of the channel, guys. Shout out to Johnny, my guy, been with me the whole time. Milk Money, happy Thursday, everyone. Jack Sparrow says, I'm already at that point. If you're in LA, come to Santa Monica. You'll see me there in a broken iPhone under the Pacific Highway Bridge. William, good to see you, buddy. What's going on? Ron, what's up, man? Let's go. I say today is my last day DCAing, but hard not to buy stuff on sale. Absolutely. There she is, Gamma Goddess in the house. I got diamond hands holding the line until it's time. Let's get this money. Lizzie, what's going on? Hey, everybody, just want to say God bless you and have an awesome day. Thank you, Rob, for everything you do. Hey, no problem, Lizzie. I got your back. I got your back. Joan, I am thanking God for another opportunity to DC. Absolutely. Amen to that. 100%. 100%. Danny, what's up, buddy? Good to see you, man. Thanks. No, thank you, brother. Thank you for always being here with me, Danny. I appreciate you, man. But I am a Baba man. Guys, the baby gorilla with 70 million plus views. He's a meme coin now. I don't know what the hell that is. Is that a shill or is that a bot? I don't know what that is. Jack Sparrow says, D's nuts, can you gift some dry powder ahead of free memberships instead of free memberships? Nice. Cryptus, what's going on? Hey, Robin Crypto fam, just waiting patiently till it's time to take off. Absolutely. KK Crypto says, let me read this. The horse, what? P-O-O posed? Missed that, brother. I missed it. Thank you so much for the algo help, though, KK. I appreciate you, man. Flint fan just got more JYAI. It might be a 2 billion sleeper. Maybe. Oh, we haven't looked at that in a while, actually. Wise Mind, what's going on? I sold my kid's wife, car, house. I have no more dry powder just sitting on my hands. Well, you've always got blood, spit, and semen. Like I said, man, Crypto J505, what's up, man? Sold some XRP for Pith. There you go. Artificially virtuous. Calls me a doofus. I haven't been called a doofus in a while, so thank you so much. Is Nadix going all the way back to 300? I would scoop it up like crazy. You want to call me a name in the chat? I will just say, God bless you, my friend. God bless you. KK, the poor sell the dip, the rich buy the dip. Exactly. Anonymous. All season is so close. Treating these DCA days like ape days. There you go. AF says, guys, patience and listen to the best coach, Rob, and join the Patreon. Absolutely. Johnny says, the intro makes me crap up every time. You deserve it, brother. You've been with me a long time, bro. C Mars, Big C. Buy and hold, stay strong, my crypto fam. Absolutely. Strawberry Dragon in the house. It's so good to see the future family here again. Positive energy. KK, the poor sell the dip, the rich buy the dip. Yes, absolutely. No money to DCA. Go make a baby or work. Yeah, hey, go make a baby or something, right? Put your portfolio away. Go make a baby. I liked your late night videos on the porch last night. Thank you so much, man. Thank you. Yeah, I try to throw those in once in a while, right? Try to throw them in. All right, let's get into the news this afternoon, guys. 278 people watching, 84 likes. Let's get that up to 100, guys. We can do it. Like Ice Cube says, put your back into it. Gamma Goddess, no one talks about our Rob. He's out of here. There you go. Gamma's got my back. Mess around and find out, man. Mess around and find out with Gamma on the scene. Absolutely. All right, so what do we have in the news? Dip after dip after dip after dip. Worst cycle so far. Definitely not a bot. I just want to share. Okay, cool, man. Cool. Michael, finding the silver lining like you always say, Rob. All these dips have at least let me know I'm marrying a good woman. She should have left me three dips ago. That's fair. That's fair. Gamma's their security. Yes, she is. She runs security around here. She runs a tight ship. Don't mess around, man. Dipsy doodle. Thinking of selling feet pics for dry powder. There you go. There you go. Kale, what's Google ban non-custodial wallets mean to us? What? Google bans non-custodial wallets. I don't know what the implications are. You know what? Let's look that up. That's a good question. What are the implications of that on crypto? Probably just their app store, maybe. Maybe their app store. Hang on. Let's look into that. What are the implications of Google banning self-custody wallets on crypto? Let's see. What are the implications? Hang on. The answer's coming. The answer's coming. Okay. So Google clarified that self-custody non-custodial wallets are not banned and are exempt from their new Google Play Store policy, which requires custodial wallet apps to obtain licenses in over 15 jurisdictions. This means that self-custody wallets remain unaffected. So they emphasized that they did not ban self-custodial wallets. So, yeah. So there you go. That's the answer to that. They did not ban them. So. All right, let's get into the news a little bit here now, guys. Quick shout out to the channel sponsor, as always, Decent Biometric Wallet. Not your keys, not your coins, guys. Use our link down below. Get a 2-for-1 deal on the biometric wallet today. You're going to need yourself a self-custody wallet, guys, going into the next cycle. Holding your crypto on a centralized exchange for 3 years, not a good idea. Use our link down below. Get yourself a great deal. Okay, let's get into some of the news. What's going on out there? It's not letting you send super chats, Ramona. Really? Because, like, we've gotten 6 other super chats. There's another one right there. My wife said I need a 10x on Swift, otherwise I can't come back home. Swift better come through for you there. Swift better come through. Ramona, do you have a VPN on or something? Normally I tell people to either see if they have a VPN on or maybe leave and then come back, or reset, force stop your YouTube if you're watching on your phone and then boot it back up or something. So Strategy's stock crashing despite Bitcoin's price hitting all-time highs. Here's why. Strategy stock continues its downward trend on Thursday despite Bitcoin reaching new all-time high records of $124,000, $124,400. Their stock dropped to $375.80, down 20% from the year-to-date highs of $457, a 30% lower than its highest level in 2024. Jake the Snake says, Ramona and I are sending you one ZBEC each. There you go. Nice. $1 each. Wow. Wouldn't that be something? The potential reason for the recent decline in their stock price is its valuation. Data shows that the company holds 628,946 coins valued at over $74.78 billion. Its average cost per coin is $73,288, meaning it has a realized gain of 62%. The company has a market capitalization of 107 billion, giving it a NAV multiply of 1.428. This multiple has been falling gradually after peaking at 3.31 in November of last year. Now, here's a quick caveat for you guys, okay? For the people that are saying that these companies are not going to sell their Bitcoin in the bear market. So if MicroStrategy's average cost of Bitcoin is $73,288, okay? If Bitcoin tops at $150,000 to $200,000, that would mean a 70% drop, which Bitcoin generally does. A 70% drop in a bear market would bring Bitcoin's price between $40,000 to $60,000 a coin, right? Well below Strategy's cost, average cost, DCA cost of their Bitcoin. So now you tell me, Strategy has shareholders, they have a board that Michael Saylor has to answer to. So if Bitcoin drops hypothetically to 40, let's say 50, we'll say right in the middle between 40 and 60, if Bitcoin drops to $50,000, which is about a 60% drop, okay, from about $160,000, then do you think that the shareholders for Strategy are not going to panic when they are underwater by $23,000 per Bitcoin? Per Bitcoin, okay? $23,000 in the red per Bitcoin. And that's if MicroStrategy bought no more Bitcoin at these prices. Because if MicroStrategy continues to buy Bitcoin from its current price and higher throughout the rest of this bull run, then their average cost is going to keep going up. Their cost average is going to go up, which means they're going to be underwater. Let's say they raise it to $80,000 per Bitcoin because they keep buying at these levels, right? So then Strategy is going to be underwater on their Bitcoin by what? 60, like 30, or $20,000. Let's say $20,000. My math was off there. Something like that. So let's just say $20,000 to $30,000 in the red per Bitcoin, not in total, per Bitcoin. And they hold 628,946 Bitcoin. And they're going to be in the red $20,000 per Bitcoin. Do you think that their shareholders are not going to demand that they sell when it starts dropping down around their cost average and they're even on it, you think that the shareholders aren't going to say dump this, which I think is going to cause far more selling pressure on Bitcoin than people are anticipating, which is going to cause a deeper bear market than people are anticipating. And the same goes for every single institution out there that's putting Bitcoin on their balance sheets right now, right? At some point, their cost average is going to be higher than the current price of Bitcoin as Bitcoin drops into a bear market. Are these institutions going to panic sell, or are they going to hold something in the red for 4 years, right? Something to think about, guys. These are the things that these Bitcoin maxis don't tell you, right? They just think it's all sunshine and rainbows and, Bitcoin's never going to have a bear market and stuff like that. I think the bear market's going to be worse than people think, not less than people think, right? So something to think about, man. Something to think about. Always got to be aware. Ramona got one out. Leaving and coming back worked. Hit the like button. There you go. Thank you, Ramona. Yeah, it's funny how that works. All right, so let's keep going through the news. Let me get to the bottom of the chat here. So anyway, something to think about when it comes to MicroStrategy and these other companies putting Bitcoin on their balance sheets. Be careful of Bitcoin maxis telling you that institutions are not going to take profits, are not going to sell, and stuff like that. They have shareholders to answer to. It's not just up to Michael Saylor whatever the company does. He's not just, able to just unilaterally make these decisions on his own, right? Ethereum ETFs just hit a $1 billion net inflow day. Could that spur altcoin rotations this week? The future is a go. Hey Rob, Gary have to be high on something. It just keeps going. Do you see it going over $1? I could honestly, at this rate, if it keeps climbing the way that it is. I mean, absolutely crazy. 100%. So yeah. Okay, let's get into this here. Could we see a rotation from Ethereum into altcoins? Ethereum inflows reached a record on Monday, with U.S. spot Ethereum ETFs drawing $1 billion in a single session. BlackRock's ETHA fund accounted for $640 million, and Fidelity's added $277 million. Overall, ETF holdings now total $25.7 billion. Cumulative inflows this cycle exceeded $10.8 billion. What ETF flows mean now? Large ETF inflows suggest heightened demand for Ethereum exposure. Historically, these inflows have provided momentum for sectors like DeFi, Layer 2 networks, and infrastructure tokens. That trend may extend into broader altcoin rotation, but timing could vary based on weekend trading volumes and macro sentiment. Sustained inflows also create a liquidity effect. Capital allocation to ETFs often gets mirrored in derivative markets, staking platforms, and liquidity pools. This can influence funding rates and lending demand on Ethereum-related platforms, impacting their trader positioning across connected assets. Ethereum's recent performance far outstripped Bitcoin's. In July, Ethereum rose roughly 49% compared to Bitcoin's 8% gain. The total crypto market passed $3.7 trillion, buoyed by ETF-driven activity. DEX trading data supports this momentum. Ethereum-based DEX volume hit $24.5 billion over 48 hours, twice Solana's trading volume during the same window. That indicates capital circulation through Ethereum native infrastructures. On-chain analytics also shows wallet growth in Ethereum DeFi protocols. The daily active addresses in some Layer 2 ecosystems climbing to multiple month highs. This participation uptick suggests a portion of the Ethereum fueled demand is filtering through into the broader Ethereum ecosystem rather than staying confined to passive ETF holdings. Your ERC20 tokens, right? Your Jasmines, your Mirias, and so on and so forth, right? So a lot of inflows essentially is the point. What do we got here? BTC 122K and Ethereum 4.7K. What the hell? What? Ethereum is, or sorry, Bitcoin's 117.9 right now, and Ethereum's 4,500. I don't know what you mean, man. I don't know what you mean, brother. All right. Anyway, continuing on. Let's pivot over to Squawk Box and see what we got going on over there. All right, a Fed cutting 50 basis points is a Fed that's panicking, says JP Morgan.
Futures ahead of the PPI inflation data this morning are still okay. The S&P and NASDAQ both all-time closing highs yesterday. Join us now. I called you Cafferty earlier. He's the other guy. He's the news guy for years and years in the New York area. You are not him.
I am not Jack Cafferty.
You are Jack Cafferty.
Jack Cafferty.
Equity portfolio, to like an abbreviated Cafferty. Equity portfolio manager, JP Morgan Asset Management. I guess just to try to distill down what you're saying, the market's not cheap. There's some positive things that you see happen, but we definitely have gotten back to a point where it's not cheap. And would you call it an AI premium?
Certainly, if we try digging into valuations, the market trades at 23 times earnings.
Is that, if you back out the big stocks?
Let me back them out for you.
Is it 17 then?
If you look at a cap-weighted multiple, it's closer to 29 times earnings.
Oh boy.
23 across the index, and median stock is trading about 19 times earnings.
19.
So you have a magnificent cohort, and call that's been driving anything touching AI, and that's been driving 70% of the gains this year. That's not just chips, that's not just the software, but it can be the industrials that wind up building the shell, that build the air conditioning to keep those very expensive chips happy and operating in their environment. Step away from the AI trade, and the market's been a lot more calmed. You can think of it sort of as the forgotten 493 for the non-magnificent seven names. And that's one where hopefully lower interest rates, hopefully policy clarity can let companies be a little bit more confident with their spending decisions, and you can see a broadening out of the broadening in the market.
Even in the Russell, which was what you probably say we've been seeing in recent sessions. Still not at an all-time high, but there's some broadening out. So we were talking yesterday about how we've gone from where we were really worried about everything in April and how it was going to work out. And then for a while, we were hoping everything was going to work out. You say at this point, the notion is things really are going to work out, and even better than people thought. And that makes you nervous, probably.
If you look within numbers, earlier this year, we were thinking 5% growth for the year. As a result of going through earnings season, it's closer to 7% growth. For earnings, that's really been just a surprise we've experienced. And our forecasts are for closer to 13% growth next year. So certainly there is some broadening to go there. I do think, if we step back to what we were experiencing in April, I actually thought it was going back to psychology, and you're thinking about Kubler-Ross's stages of grieving, denial, grief, anger, all that, April 2nd to April 10th. And now we're working through bargaining and acceptance. Acceptance of what policy might look like, and bargaining in terms of what your tariff is going to be or what your export license will cost you. But effectively, we're working our way through, tell me the rules, and then I'll tell you how people play.
One of the Fed people said, it'd be nice to have a cut, but with labor where it is, or the unemployment picture, 4.2%, there's no rush, but inflation doesn't look like, at this point, it looks like we were worried too much about inflation. Do you expect it to start ticking back up and go above 3, where the Fed really does have a problem?
I think there's some inconsistencies in the economic narrative. Certainly, to the extent you've had people very recently pounding the table for not an intra-meeting cut, but a 50 basis point cut here and now. particularly in the back of the weaker job revisions 2 weeks ago. The Fed cutting 50 is a Fed that's panicking, that they've lost control and something horrible is occurring like COVID.
Right.
Like you can't roll commercial paper and you've got $120 billion.
That's bullshit. Pardon my French, but they just cut 50 basis points for Biden last year. What the hell is this guy talking about? Says that would be a panic, and that would mean that the markets are all this and all those terrible things. What the hell are you talking about? They cut 50 basis points for Biden last year in one cut. They did 225s and 150. This guy's full of it.
Hours of it. That prompts a 50 basis point cut. The Fed is telling you they want to be friendly. The
Right.
dot plot is pointing to, we're getting the information we want. We're not getting what we want to see on the inflation front as quickly as we want to see it. Certainly when you look within, there are some trends that point higher. Gasoline prices down, electricity prices higher. So certainly there is some, where the economy wants to go, more electricity for everything. That's not getting as cheap as people would have hoped. Exporting natural gas probably actually snugs that up over time. And yet, that leaves the Fed in a bit of a quandary. Unemployment's not that bad.
In the past, we had, I think it was L. Arian or something, said that, 3.5 is okay. And if you do the math in 10 years on 1.5 on inflation, it's very debilitating, that extra 1.5.
Yeah.
But Summerlin, who we're going to have on, says, these numbers, we don't really know exactly where. 1 to 3, anything 1 to 3 on inflation is within the Fed's. So now that people are arguing that maybe it can't be such an exact science, and that 3's okay.
Well,
you think 3's okay? You like 2? Is the Fed going to move the goalposts?
I think the Fed moving the goalposts will cost the Fed credibility.
You do. So you like 2? I like 2.
I like, I recognize that the only thing I have massive confidence in is economic data gets revised.
Yeah.
So anyone who completely hangs themselves on any one data point is setting themselves up for disappointment. I will push back to the idea we want to look at the overall trend in surprises, better or worse. Better surprises gives you more confidence in earnings. Ultimately, you are talking to an equity portfolio manager, so I generally think equities are a better place to be.
You're just managing portfolios. You're not setting year-end targets for the S&P. You're not stupid enough to do that.
I'll give you time or level, never both. But I'll go back to the idea of, the trend in earnings has been higher.
It's 7,000 this century. That's all you'll say on the S&P?
I feel like I'm getting caught into a Kevin
Next
Hassett.
Century.
A Kevin Hassett 1999.
By 2100, will we hit 7,000 on the S&P? As you say, you won't give me duration or price target.
Direction is higher. Be along good companies.
That's good enough.
And manage your risks accordingly.
Okay.
Yeah, he's full of it. He's full of it with that, saying that it would be a sign of the Fed panicking if they cut 50 basis points. Okay, so then does that mean that last year when Biden was in office and the Democrats were in charge, then the Fed was panicking? Because they actually cut 1 full basis point in total last year. They cut 2 25s and 150. 150 point cut, not 150, right? You get what I'm saying. So does that mean that the Fed was panicking and everything was horrible for the Democrats? Or, it doesn't make sense. What are you saying here, right? Norway Wealth Fund's Bitcoin exposure growth 192.7% to 862 million. Bitcoin is pulling major players deeper into the market as Norway's sovereign wealth fund makes a 192.7% leap in exposure. The world's largest state-managed fund now holds $862.8 million in indirect Bitcoin-linked assets. This surge comes as Bitcoin trades at $118,874 with a 1.89% drop in the past 24 hours. K33 Research reports the fund exposure equals 7,161 Bitcoin gained through investments in Strategy, Metaplanet, and U.S. exchange Coinbase. The growth is strategic. The fund increase is staked in Strategy to over 11.9 billion Norway krone, $1.2 billion, a 133% jump since 2024. Moreover, Coinbase holdings climbed by more than 96% over the same period. Direct purchase of Bitcoin by state and sovereign pension funds is prohibited by restrictive legislation. Therefore, such funds often seek exposure through corporate bonds, ETFs, or company proxies such as Strategy. The approach allows them to comply and capitalizing on the growth of cryptocurrency. Following Norway, the state of Wisconsin Investment Board has also joined. It first came in with $164 million investment in Bitcoin ETFs, doubled to $321 million before lowering to $50 million in Strategy stock this May. Aside from the gold and foreign currency, Kazakhstan's sovereign fund has also expressed interest in converting some of its assets into cryptocurrency. These recent developments show a traditional finance is becoming more comfortable with digital assets. When institutional investors step in, it helps to stabilize market sentiment even when prices are bouncing around. Due to the unpredictability of crypto prices, big investors need to balance chasing high profits with managing risk carefully. The gap between crypto and traditional markets is closing fast, and sovereign funds are becoming key players in this shift. The increase in Bitcoin exposure indicates a global shift in organizing wealth funds. As such, the divide between conventional investments and digital assets is closing rapidly, suggesting a sweeping revolution of how governments manage and accumulate national wealth. Institutions stepping in, guys. I'm sad. Chatty says, I'm sad for having dry powder to DCA on these beautiful dips. Hey, you can't catch them all, man. Kids, that guy drinking coffee at the window needs to spread the word. Exactly. It's hard not to get irritated, but that's why we got to go outside and touch grass. Exactly. Yep. Exactly. Everything will be fine, my friends. Everything will be fine. I'm going to be doing some buying today. If you're not buying, there's nothing wrong with sitting on your hands. Like I said, don't panic. Just chill, man. Go make a baby or something, right? Go make a baby. Not parental advice. Put that in there. I am not a parental advisor. All right, guys. I got to get over to the Patreon. I got a coaching call I got to do. Just so you know, guys, if you are booked into a coaching call today, it will be taking place in about 15-20 minutes. So if you want to book yourself into one of them, guys, get over to the Patreon today. The link is down below. It's in the chat. It's in the pinned comments. It's in the description. Also, guys, we just added a new perk to the top tier one-on-one coaching call list tier level on the Patreon. Copy Pro Trading. So if that's something you want to get into, if you want to learn swing trading, you want to copy pro trading stuff, get over there, get your top tier membership today. Again, the link is in the description. Click like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. I'll see you guys in the next one.